on a Sky Princess Mediterranean cruise covering Spain, France, and Italy. Not every port works in the same way. Some are simple walk-off stops. Others involve distance, transport planning, and realistic time decisions that shape the entire day. In this video, I'm going to show you how this itinerary actually plays out. Let's start in La Coruna. When Sky Princess docks in La Coruna, you step off the ship, pass through a small security checkpoint, and within a couple of minutes you are standing beside the marina. There is no large terminal building and no shuttle bus required. The old town sits directly ahead of you. Plaza de Maria Pita is about a 5 to 10 minute walk uphill and acts as a natural reference point. From there, the old town streets are compact and easy to navigate without needing a strict plan. You can wander between churches, cafes, and small squares without ever feeling far from the port. If instead you turn toward the coastline, you immediately join the seafront promenade. The walk toward the Tower of Hercules is genuinely beautiful, but it is longer and more exposed than many people expect. The full return walk can easily take over an hour at a steady pace, particularly if you continue past the sculpture park. The Tower of Hercules is the top attraction for visitors to La Coruna. It is a Roman lighthouse and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and from the headland you get wide views back along the coastline and out across the Atlantic. For those who want a structured historic visit, Santiago de Compostela is around an hour away by road. It is home to the cathedral that marks the end of the Camino pilgrimage route. This is a full port day commitment, rather than a short excursion, and it works best as an organized tour so that you are not managing timing independently. La Coruna is one of the simplest ports on this itinerary. Once you are ashore, everything central is walkable. From northern Spain, the itinerary moves down the coast to Barcelona. And in Barcelona, Sky Princess normally docks at a Dosset quay. The terminal building is modern and well organized, but you are not within walking distance of the city center. Outside the terminal, shuttle queues are clearly marked. The complimentary port shuttle stops at several terminals and can move slowly when multiple ships are docked. The paid shuttle service tends to run more directly and is often quicker. The shuttle drops passengers near the World Trade Center, close to the Columbus Monument and the base of Las Ramblas. From there, Drasani's metro station is a short walk and connects easily to Sagrada Familia and other major sites. If you walk up Las Ramblas first, you will pass street performers, cafes, and shops, and about halfway along, you will find the entrance to La Boqueria Market on your right. Even if you only step inside briefly, it gives you a good sense of local produce, seafood counters, fruit stalls, and jamon displays. It becomes extremely busy by late morning, so earlier is easier. Continuing up Las Ramblas naturally brings you toward the Gothic Quarter. Inside the Gothic Quarter, the layout becomes compact and shaded, with medieval streets, small plazas, and the Barcelona Cathedral at its center. You can easily spend 2 hours here without covering much distance because everything is close together. If Sagrada Familia is on your plan, booking a time ticket in advance is essential. It also makes sense to aim for an earlier shuttle rather than leaving the ship mid-morning when queues are at their peak. Barcelona's hop-on hop-off bus is a practical option if you want structure without managing the metro. It links Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, the waterfront, and other major landmarks. It allows you to cover more distance without constant navigation decisions. Finally, allow more time than you think you need for the return shuttle. Queues increase significantly in the late afternoon when multiple ships are docked at a Dosset. Leaving Spain behind, the next stop is Marseille. When Sky Princess docks at the Marseille Provence cruise terminal, you step into an industrial environment rather than a city center. You cannot walk directly into town. The free shuttle operates from a clearly marked area and drops passengers near Les Terrasses du Port shopping center. From there, it is roughly a 20-minute waterfront walk to reach the Vieux Port area. The marina, Fort Saint-Jean, the Mucem footbridge, and the Cathédrale de la Major are all within walking distance of each other. Once you reach the Vieux Port area, the atmosphere changes completely from the industrial dock. Fishing boats sit in the marina, and in the mornings, there is often a small fish market operating directly on the quay. Local fishermen sell their catch from simple stalls, and it feels authentic rather than tourist-focused. From the Old Port, if you prefer not to walk long distances, the Petit Train de Marseille operates from near the Old Port. It follows a set loop and climbs toward higher viewpoints overlooking the city and coastline. You stay on for the full circuit rather than hopping off, and it gives you a feel for the city without significant walking. If you want to leave the city, Provence is the main draw. Aix-en-Provence and Cassis are popular excursion choices. These involve coach transfers and significant travel time. Traffic returning toward the port later in the afternoon can add unpredictability, which is why organized excursions are generally the safer choice here. If Florence or Pisa are the reason you booked this cruise, This is the port that matters. Livorno is your gateway, and this is one of those ports where you need to decide early what kind of day you want. After leaving Sky Princess, you take a shuttle out of the port to Piazza del Municipio. If you are traveling independently, you then need to reach Livorno Central Station, either by a 30-minute walk or a short taxi ride. If you book a cruise line excursion to Florence or Pisa, you skip all of that. You board a coach directly inside the port, which removes the connection risk, or you can take the train to Florence, which takes around 90 minutes. On a cruise day, Florence works best if you focus on the historic center only. Walk from the Duomo to Piazza della Signoria, continue to Ponte Vecchio, and explore the surrounding streets. Entering major museums only works if you have pre-booked timed tickets. Pisa is much closer, around 20 to 30 minutes by train. Once you reach the Field of Miracles, the Leaning Tower, Cathedral, and Baptistry all sit within the same open square, which makes it easy to see the main sites without covering long distances. Most cruise visitors spend time walking the perimeter of the square, taking photos of the tower from different angles, and stepping inside the cathedral before exploring the surrounding streets for a short lunch or coffee, away from the main tourist area. Trying to combine Florence and Pisa in one port call usually results in more time on trains or buses than in either city. Pick the one you want to see the most, rather than rushing to fit both in one day. If you decide not to leave Livorno, you can walk from the shuttle drop-off to Venezia Nuova, the Canal District, visit Mercato Centrale for food, and continue to the Terrazza Mascagni promenade along the sea. Staying local removes the long-distance travel pressure completely. For a deeper breakdown of each option, I have full port guides in a Mediterranean ports of call playlist, linked in the description. After Livorno, the itinerary shifts again. Civitavecchia is the port for Rome, and the distance defines the day. Sky Princess docks deep inside an industrial harbour, so you must take a shuttle to exit. The free shuttle runs to Largo della Pace, the main transport hub. The paid shuttle goes directly to the train station, which is the option you need if travelling independently. Rome is around 70 kilometres away. A realistic Rome plan focuses on one area. From the Colosseum, walk along Via dei Fori Imperiali to Piazza Venezia, then continue to the Pantheon and Trevi Fountain. If you choose the Vatican instead, treat it as a separate day and focus only on that area. Trying to combine both usually creates pressure. If you prefer a simpler option, Civitavecchia itself is easy to explore, with a seafront promenade, the Michelangelo Fortress, and cafes within walking distance of the shuttle drop-off. On my sailing, we actually visited Corsica before Civitavecchia and Livorno due to weather. Wherever it sits in the schedule, Ajaccio is one of the most straightforward stops on the itinerary. From the gangway, it was around 5 minutes to reach the market at the edge of the old town. If the ship tenders instead of docking, allow additional time before beginning your day. Once ashore, everything central is within a small radius. A natural walking loop might begin at the market. Continue to Place Foch and the Napoleon statue. Move through the old town streets, head toward the citadel for harbour views, and return along the marina. Napoleon's birthplace museum is popular and can attract queues. Beaches are within walking distance in warmer months. Ajaccio works well because you can complete a full town loop in a few hours and still return to the ship with time to spare. This Sky Princess Mediterranean itinerary includes several sea days. They give you time to recover between long port calls and actually enjoy the ship. How Sky Princess performs on those days shapes the overall experience. I cover that in full in my Sky Princess Honest Review. That is the next video to watch, and it is on screen now.